I've heard a lot about deep breathing exercises. I've done it multiple times in my life. I've done the meditation aspect. And internally, I get conflicted like, okay, is this new age or is this scriptural? Obviously in the Bible, it tells us to meditate on God's word day and night. But,
Yep.
outside of just God's word, what does meditation for Christians look like? And there's really no good reference point for that. And then when I look at meditation in the world, there seems to be, if you look at quantum physics, how things interact with deep breathing spiritually, and trying to figure out the difference, and not throwing the baby out with the bathwater, but also not allowing the new age teachings to enter that. And when you were talking about Yahweh as in the breath of God, the being of God, that we can pronounce it through deep breathing, blew my mind and brought a greater understanding and revelation to the presence of God being an active in everything we do through the breath that he has filled up our lungs, which, I mean, from the creation of time, God breathed life into man. God breathed being into man. And so when we breathe, we are essentially, what's the word? Something where it's exiting us. I can't think of the word.
Exhale.
Exhaling
Yeah.
the being and the presence and the name of God.
Well, I love that, Evan. Here's the deal. Whose breath is it that you're breathing? It's not your own. You didn't create it. God is the one who breathed into Adam, as you said, and that chain reaction carries on. That's how I like to look at it.
Mm.
And in regards to New Age, meditation, when you look up that word in Hebrew, it means to meditate, or it means to muse, ponder, even murmur and mumble. That's meditation. And I used to be in New Age, and the idea is they're pulling off truths, and then what happens is then they twist them off into their own ideas. But meditation and breathing is God's idea, and we are spirit, soul, and body. We can't forget that. And oftentimes it's easy. Some people will say, well, it's all spirit. Well, to be honest, no, it's not. It's all spirit, soul, and body, according to 1 Thessalonians 5:23 and 24.
Whole person podcast.
Bingo, where we realize he who, I'm paraphrasing this, but it talks about Jesus. He who calls you by name is trustworthy, and he will complete our entire being, spirit, soul, and body. If your body wasn't important to God, why is he going to give you a new one when it's all said and done? We could just be incorporeal spirits, but for some reason, he's actually going to give us a new body. As a matter of fact, that's one of the things that Paul says we are waiting in eager expectation for in Romans 8 and 2 Corinthians 5. He says in 2 Corinthians 5, meanwhile, meaning in this tension of the now and not yet, meanwhile, we groan. Mm-hmm. What are we groaning for? The redemption of our bodies as well as our souls and spirits. And so this breathing thing is God's idea. And even physiologically, when you do deep breathing, it calms down the amygdala, that little almond thing in your brain. It's called amygdala hijack, the fight or flight. And so when we breathe, it also benefits the vagus nerve that all humans have. That's God's idea. So even just the natural act of deep breathing has physical benefits. Believer or non-believer, that's irrelevant. Just deep breathing actually has positive benefits to your body, which then brings a calming effect. And then that can translate into our emotions and feelings and even how we think and address life.